Thanks for watching Cincinnati Parks, building better lives and better communities. I'm Amy.
I'm Biker Storm. And I'm Lincoln Ware.
Today is going to be so much fun. We're going to focus on some of the things that go on behind the scenes at Cincinnati Parks.
Cincinnati Parks is so amazing. There's so much to do. Plus, guys, I don't think you're going to guess what I'm going to be doing later. It's going to be awesome.
Well, we're here in beautiful French Park in Amberley Village.
275 acres of green space, bridges, recreational areas, and trails, just like many other Cincinnati parks.
Today we're going to be hanging out with Wade Walcutt. He's the director of Cincinnati Parks. He's going to be taking us on this amazing journey to find out what's happening here at Cincinnati Parks.
Well, you guys better get going and catch up with Wade later, and I'm going to go find him so he can take us through French Park.
All right, see you guys. Ooh, I'm going this way.
Now tell me about this beautiful staircase.
This staircase is the perfect example of how families and citizens can help parks. Look, we don't have all the resources we'd like to fix all the issues that we have in parks. So having a philanthropic, entrepreneurial spirit that we do and working with our citizens, it makes things like this happen. Specifically, it was the Schiffman family. Their love of this park and their dedication to our trails and connecting with our council, our board of commissioners, and our staff were able to make this happen.
Every day at Cincinnati Parks, we come out, service the trails, we do steps, we do bridges, we do the infrastructure. We want to make the patrons of Cincinnati Parks safe and happy, and we'd love them to come out to our trails.
We have such a steep grade here. Basically, you have to be even at that tree. So when we're working on our rise and run, we may have to throw a couple shorter steps in here to get our height up, so where we hit that flat point between those trees, so we keep our stairs on our rise the even amount, which is a comfortable pace for stepping.
Cincinnati Parks Foundation is the proud philanthropic partner to the Cincinnati Park Board, and we've been doing this work for 24 years. We work off of a strategic plan, and so for the next 3 years we'll focus our fundraising attention on 8 different park projects. In August of 2017, we received a phone call from a friend, Councilmember Sittenfeld's office actually, who was connecting us to Jay Schiffman, and his family was interested in making a significant contribution to French Park, which is their neighborhood park.
We grew up down the street from my grandparents, my mother's parents. Their backyard was French Park, so growing up, this was our play area, and it was awesome. I have so many amazing memories, from sledding in the park to birthday parties in the park to hanging out with friends in the park, and so this was a very special place for my family. My grandmother and my grandfather, this was always something special to them. Daily, they would take walks together in this park, and as they've gotten older, it's become a little bit harder because of the way the trails have kind of degraded over time. To honor him, we really wanted to fix the trails up and make it so that he and my grandmother could once again take walks in the park.
Wade, walking the trails here at French Park is such a beautiful way for families to get outdoors, and how can people get involved by donating and making the parks even better?
You're right, it is beautiful in Cincinnati Park, especially here in French Park. It just makes you feel better, and most importantly, these kinds of things are free. Now, anybody can help out, just like the Schiffman family did. All you have to do is contact the Cincinnati Parks Foundation. They connect with us, and together we put it all together, build better lives, a better community, and better parks.
I love it.
A lot of the challenges, mud and rock. That's the biggest thing. Just getting everything level, getting everything safely set. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want any of this wood or anybody to fall. We don't want the wood to rot. We don't want it to shift. Even though the shifting might happen naturally, that's just the way, the course of nature is. But the main thing, like I said, is the rocks, it's the weather, it's the mud. The benefit for these steps for Cincinnati Parks and this trail system, it's a pretty good grade, steep hill. The previous steps had a lot of backwash from mud, and they just weren't safe. The block step setting it's a safer alternative than just using a regular 6x6 because it's enclosed. You have more foot space, you have footrest, you have a landing where your feet can go. We fill it in with mulch, gravel, etc., whatever the conditions call for. and it just makes walking up and down this set of steps or any hillside that much safer.
The parks in Cincinnati are such an amazing piece of what makes this city so great. It's easy to take this for granted that we have this amazing park system, and we wanted to make sure that other people got to experience this the way that we did. This new kind of push that they're doing to really make sure that the parks are able to be enjoyed by everybody is so important to the continued success, not only for the parks, but for Cincinnati as a whole. The fact is that no one in my family gave beyond their means. We spread this thing out and did this as a family. And so, you know, it would have been a lot harder to raise this money just from one person. But the opportunity to do this amongst 13 different members to ensure that something that we love is going to outlast all of us in honor of my grandparents it was a no-brainer, and it was something that was very easy for us to do.
Amy, we're so happy to have parks like this, and most importantly, trails that people can get out there and experience and get access to these parks. And that's why we dedicated an entire trail crew to make these trails accessible. None of this could have been possible without the Shipman family and the Cincinnati Parks Foundation.
Well, Wade, thank you so much. I've had so much fun, and we're going to continue our walk. And when we come back, we're going to take you through everything fun and exciting at Inwood Park. So come on, let's go. Had so much fun at French Park, and now we're at Inwood Park. Tell me about it, Wade.
Yeah, Amy, it was a blast at French Park. We're here before all the work actually happens. This is the jackpot in terms of public-private partnerships and how we can transform parks. From everyone involved, from developers to PNC Bank to the community. This is how work happens and how progress happens, so we're very lucky. But we can't just do it on our own. We have to be responsive and listen to the community. In fact, I think Carol's going to talk a little bit more about what they'd like to see happen in this park, and she's the president of the Neighborhood Association. So in the meantime, let's go take care of some honeysuckle.
I'd love to see our shelter come back to life, be rebirthed. I'd love to see concerts there. I'd love to see weddings there. I'd like to just see some life come back to the park. The lake, which is being cleaned up right now, bring that back. I'd love to see ice skating in the winter, sledding for the kids. There's beautiful hills. It's just a gorgeous park.
The Parks Department has really set a series of priorities for Inwood Park. Those priorities are being knocked off one at a time. A big priority was underbrush and getting sightlines and visibility, additional parking, new grilling station. All these are little components that are ultimately going to make the whole park a great spot.
Now, Wade, this is honeysuckle. I see this everywhere. It's pretty invasive, right?
Yeah, it's completely a problem. We hate honeysuckle. It's through all of our systems, all of our parks, and it's a huge problem. One of the big things is it grows thick and it grows quick. So we've got a great team of people to help on staff to eradicate a lot of this honeysuckle, but because it grows back so quick, we need help. And we're lucky enough, we had over 8,000 volunteers, as many volunteers as we've ever had just this past year, helping get rid of invasive species and make our parks beautiful. So we could use all the help we can get, but for now, we need to get back to work.
This is a park that gets a little bit on the abused side with litter in the back. It's very grown up in the back, so we're clearing that out to make it easier to keep it clean and make it more presentable and usable for the community.
Volunteering, giving back, you know, we're all privileged living in the United States and such, so I mean, it just really is our job just to do this stuff. I used to live in kind of bad neighborhoods when I was growing up, and it just filled with trash and no one cares, and someone's got to clean it. And just leaving it to the employees, I mean, it's an impossible task. So volunteering, that's what's important. That's what's significant. That's how we can make a change without, you know, them spending a bunch of money on stuff that they don't need to spend on.
So volunteers are super important to the parks. Is it just individuals or is it organizations too?
Yeah, we're lucky not only to have community support, but we're lucky to have a business community supporting parks as well. Later today, we're going to see over 60 members of PNC out here giving back to their community and making this park look beautiful. So we're really fortunate.
That's great.
PNC has always loved the parks. It's the best park system in America. We at PNC have always believed that parks are the center of all great cities. And so we started many years ago as a partner with the Cincinnati Parks. There's 60 people out there cutting down trees, and we do this every year. We believe in helping parks be clean. We believe in helping parks look beautiful. And this park, we're not going to believe what it's going to look like in a few years.
Cincinnati Parks and honestly the city of Cincinnati, all of us together, Christ Hospital Foundation, our groups, we've all been working together in this fabulous kind of private-public energy and effort. And it's really been, the Parks Department has been very receptive.
Man, a lot of work has been done here at Inwood Park. What's next to do?
There really has, Amy, and it's all thanks to our partnerships and the volunteers and the community. We've done so much improvements here within the park in terms of universal accessibility to get in and out of the park. We're also going to put in a new parking lot here to make people easier to get to, improve the pavilion, and right over my shoulder here, a brand new playground. But you know, according to my watch, I'm running late and I got to get to Little Duck Creek to meet up with Lincoln.
Fine, well, I'm going to go play on the playground.
All right, have fun.
I'm Lincoln Ware, and we're walking through Little Duck Creek Park with Cincinnati Parks Director Wade Walcutt. Wade, what is the work of this beautiful park here?
Simply put, the work is about partnerships, it's about community ownership, it's about community pride, it's about volunteerism. And we're so lucky to be here in Madisonville to have all those things happen at once. They've got great pride in this park, and because of that, the partnership with our park board, we can transform this space, make it more accessible, and then everyone, just like you and I are today, can experience the magic and the beauty of nature.
The residents of Madisonville have been on a big volunteer effort to clean up Little Duck Creek and make it an amenity, a green space in the community. Little Duck Creek is a hidden gem within the Cincinnati Park Board properties. The residents here have known about it the whole time, but they wanted to open it up and improve it for themselves and others who are visiting. That's why their efforts started with a big volunteer group and have continued. They wanted to go an extra step further and realized that they needed to have professional help. So they contacted the Mill Creek Alliance, and their young adult Green Corps workforce is now removing invasive species alongside Park Board employees. The idea for our young adult workforce is to someday have them to move on to places like the Park Board for employment. We're working on trail restoration. That's going to open up the trail, open up the forest, and allow people to enjoy it. The Mill Creek Alliance approaches environmentalism, sustainability, and conservation in a very different way. We're holistic and comprehensive, so we're able to attack it from many sides.
The community came together to raise some of the money up. They had heard about the Green Corps, and they had got the Cincinnati Parks involved as well, and they contacted us, and we jumped on a chance to work with Cincinnati Parks.
Conservation is very important. What are you guys doing? What are the efforts going in to conserve this park?
Well, Lincoln, I'm glad you said it because conservation is very key to us. It's a fundamental pillar as far as advancing conservation through all of our parks and all of our systems. Some of the things we're doing here that we're very lucky to be partnering with Madisonville is not only just litter and trash pickup that we see, but it's also eradicating invasive species. Anything from vines like winter creeper, but also most prominently is honeysuckle. It's everywhere. We all hate honeysuckle. It just chokes out all the native species, and it's hard for the native species to really thrive. Now, take a walk with me, Lincoln, and I'll show you a little bit of the efforts we've been doing and the progress the community's been making.
We already cleared out most of the invasive honeysuckle here, but there are a few things that we have left to take care of, like this stump. We're just going to cut it down to clear it up and make space for new trees to grow up through the canopy.
With support of a grant from the Duke Energy Foundation, the Cincinnati Park Board and the Cincinnati Park Board Foundation is supporting residents and the Mill Creek Alliance Young Adult Green Corps Workforce Development Program to do work here on Little Duck Creek. On the southern end of Little Duck Creek Trail is Bramble Park that connects to the park board property here, which is Little Duck Creek Trail. Hundreds of volunteers are going to come out and start cleaning up Bramble Park with the eventual hope of connecting the Little Duck Creek Trail to the Murray Avenue Trail.
That's going to be amazing, having 500 people out here volunteering to work. I hope we can keep them all busy.
Well, there's plenty of work to do. It'd be nice just being able to clean these fallen trees down and, you know, just create that little more safe environment for everybody.
The two parks that we're going to tie together are already contiguous, but they're not sort of walkable to each other, and that's the Little Duck Creek Preserve and Bramble Park. So when this is completed here in a few years, what you'll see is that a lot of these invasive plants will be eradicated, and that we'll have either paved trails or unpaved trails tie them together in a way that a family could come out here and have an outing and enjoy the entire 1 mile corridor without any obstacles or any kind of any issues that would keep them from walking continuously from basically all the way from down here, the village of Fairfax, through Madisonville and all the way over to Indian Hill.
It's proven positive already as soon as we get done with it. You know, so many more people are visiting the trail. You see them running, walking their dogs, the kids playing in the woods and whatnot. With that momentum, I plan on continuing the same work, just to allow more accessibility for people and the natural environment here as far as the wildlife goes.
Wade, thank you for showing me this hidden gem, Little Duck Creek Park. When I want to get away from everybody, I'm coming back here. But I know you've got to get away. You've got to go to Mount Airy Forest, get on the bike trail with Storm.
That's right. It's another perfect example of volunteerism and partnerships. I just hope Storm can keep up.
All right, we'll see you later.
Mount Airy Forest is where we are today. What's up, everybody? It's Storm Bennett hanging out today, and this is great. We got Wade, our director of Cincinnati Parks. Tell us about these mountain bike trails. So cool.
Yeah, it's always a great day in the Cincinnati Park, and we have a little something for everybody. We've got amazing staff to do so many things, but even that being considered, we still need help. So thanks to CORA, the Cincinnati Off-Road Riding Alliance, they made these trails possible for us. This is actually the first mountain biking trail in Cincinnati Parks, and only the second one in Hamilton County. So we're thrilled to be a partner with CORA and make this happen. But
looks like they're making it happen too.
They're not going to show us up. Let's go.
These guys look like they're professionals.
The Cincinnati Off-Road Alliance is a group of folks who are mountain bikers who sustain and maintain over 100 miles of trail within the greater Cincinnati region. We take care of multi-use natural surface trail so that we can have people out riding bikes, hiking, running, being out in nature and getting access to our great spaces.
3 winters ago, I started flagging trail in these woods by walking through the woods in the wintertime when all the green's down so you can see through the woods. I'd flag trail, come back and modify, move it around again. So we started building trail in July with rapid succession of killing honeysuckle and then cutting the trail tread in, moving rocks, the whole 9 yards. We have over 1.5 miles of trail built already for people to enjoy hopefully soon. So it's just been a fantastic journey so far.
This is all volunteer driven, just like everything that CORA does. We are a complete group of volunteers. Nobody's pulling a paycheck, nobody's making a salary. We're all doing this because we love being in nature and love recreating outside on our bicycles. And it was real hard to find the opportunity to ride your mountain bikes in a lot of different places back in the 90s. It was a new sport. There weren't a lot of opportunities, and slowly we've grown that.
Keep up, Wade. Look at my technique. All right?
I'm trying.
I'm just trying. Man, these are pretty tough trails you guys got here. Man,
Yep.
this is great.
And we're real lucky to have them. We like to pride ourselves of doing the most amount of work with the least amount of resources sometimes. And this trail is the perfect example here in Mount Airy Forest. It's all thanks to CORA. They just completed phase 1. It was just over a 1-mile-long trail with plans for 2 more phases, connecting more people, building better lives, and building a better Cincinnati.
Well, I'm going to build a better calves on you. Let's go. I'm going to race you. Let's go down.
All right, good luck.
All right.
So our relationship with Cincinnati Parks Board has been a long and storied one. We've always worked to try to develop that relationship, and I think that's what really is the key part of how we've made this happen. This isn't just us building trails in our backyard. This is us working hand in hand with Cincinnati Parks to make sure we're delivering them a world-class trail experience just like you would have at any major national or state forest. And that is where we've built this trust with them.
We are in the middle of building phase 2, which will run all the way to Shepherd Creek, which will be about 1.5 miles long. A lot more gradual riding, no extreme climbs overall, a couple small ones probably. And then we'll come back from the Shepherd Creek parking lot to this parking lot on phase 3, which will be about 2.5 miles long, which will give us a total of about 5 miles. Anybody can ride these trails. Now, if you're not in great shape, you might struggle a little bit, but it's a good encouragement to come back out and keep trying to get better and better and better. You know, we try to make sure we have good sight lines. You can see people coming the other way to avoid any, situations where you might run into somebody. So really, anybody can come out and ride these trails. It's all about determination and having fun, really.
Most mountain bikers are your next door neighbor, or the kid who lives down the street, or your teacher, or your doctor, or whomever in your community. Mountain bikers take building trail very seriously. In fact, if you look nationwide, mountain bikers are the ones who built the sustainable trails movement within the United States. So there's a lot of passion that goes into building these trails, maintaining these trails, and frankly, if you want to ride them, you need to learn that piece of the language because it's important for you to understand that these things are here, but it takes people to make them happen.
Wade, thanks so much for showing me around these incredible trails. Mount Airy Forest, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's been great. We're so lucky to have this forest. We're so lucky for Cora to have these trails. And most importantly, we're just very, very lucky to have the amazing support. So many people that donate their time, their resources, and so many organizations that partner with us with one common goal, to make Cincinnati Parks better and to build a better Cincinnati.
Well, I appreciate you and everything you guys do at Cincinnati Parks. And if you don't mind, I'm going to check out the experts, Amy and Lincoln. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much. Hey guys, now that was a blast.
I have had so much fun here today learning about all the really cool things going on here at Cincinnati Parks.
And we learned more about how anyone can get involved to help.
Yeah, like volunteering, being a helpful community member, and donating.
Yeah, and that's what I've learned all day today, that it doesn't just take a few people to make things happen here. It takes a whole slew of people to make Cincinnati Parks what it is.
And you know what? That is what makes Cincinnati Parks build better lives and better communities.
And we hope you enjoyed the show.